Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Unstable and let's get on with the video. So about 2 weeks ago, I drew this image, thinking, oh wow, a cool dragon, right? Later that week, I thought since I've been learning Blender for a while now, maybe I could use this as a reference image to create a dragon in Blender. And this atrocity was born. I mean, it was my first try, right? It was a fairly simple model with terrible textures and shading problems that I just wasn't bothered to fix. So I thought, you know what? Let's delete this and make something good. Something like Toothless. So I loaded up another file and some references that I blatantly stole from Google. And after lining them up, I proceeded to model using a mirror modifier. Now the face that I made was pretty basic, but was this going to be hard to make? The legs were easy though, took some adjusting, but got them right pretty soon. Then adjusting some edges made it much better. Now this is where I saw the face and I knew that this was gonna take some effort. But my approach to it was rather naive. And I just wasn't able to make it look right. So I thought I needed a reference to get the face right. So I went to Google and found myself a picture of Toothless' face from the front view. But before working with this, I made some adjustments to the mesh to make it look better. After which I tried to fix the face again. But even with a reference, I just couldn't. So after trying for a little while, I couldn't take it and I decided that it would be much wiser to do the wings first and worry about the face later. So I made the wings by just extruding some faces and adjusting some edges and vertices like this. But there was a problem. The subdivision modifier was making the edges of the wing smoother, and to correct that, I needed a way to increase the influence of certain edges to not be smoothened by the subdivision modifier. And this is where I discovered about creasing the edge. This helped with making the wings look much more better, after which I admired my creation for a while and then again tried to fix the head, this time with sculpting. Watching this guy gave me a lot of confidence, so I thought sculpting it is. So I picked up my drawing tablet and started sculpting. At the beginning it wasn't looking very good, but later I finally managed to get the head right in a separate file. I forgot to record the process, but it was very simple. Now it was very high poly, so I used a remesh modifier. All I had to do now was to join the head with the body in the first file. After joining the two objects, I adjusted the neck and then went on to make the claws. And these thingies. Now there was this problem with the face which occurred due to remeshing with the modifier. Earlier I did a version of the head where its mouth was open, but I lost the file because I forgot to save, and redoing it now was going to be more painful and take much more effort. I fixed it with sculpting again. Now this here is why you save your file as frequently as you can. I was about to lose an hour of progress, but after waiting for a while, it started working again. Now looking at the references, I wanted to make sure that my model wasn't missing any major details. Now I could have added more details by sculpting scales on his body, but I thought to keep it simple, this was enough. And this is the final model that I ended up creating. After this, I created a very basic material for the body, the claws, and I thought creating eyes procedurally was going to be a good idea. It was a nightmare. And I ended up creating something that looked good enough, but the method was just clearly wrong. And I apologize to all the Blender professionals for creating this abomination. Now it was time for rigging. I used Rigify's basic mesh and after putting it in place, I parented the mesh to booms with automatic weights. I tested the rig and then placed some planes around it to get a good view of the thing. And then I deleted it and made it again to make it a little better. Mostly due to some problems with the wings, it was basically the same but with minor changes. Now the rig worked perfectly as I intended. So now I pose the model for a render. And also fix some weight bending issues with claws. The material looked a little too smooth and perfect, so I added some bump to it using musgrave and noise textures, which made it a little bit better. But there was still something wrong with the skin, and this is what it was. Also, I forgot the nose, so I made it with sculpting to a point which looked good enough. I was just winging it. And in the end, these are the 3 renders that are made with this model. Considering I'm not very good at this, yet this turned out to be pretty good. So thanks for watching, and I will see you around.